Hello, and welcome to another edition of Smith Bearing Training and Educational Series. This is episode 7. Today we're going to talk about eccentric bushings and why we use them on the studs of our cam followers. One reason is we're always looking for the correct alignment. The better the alignment on the bearing to the mating surface, the better the functionality of the bearing and the longer life you'll get. We also are always looking for correct adjustment. And why I say correct adjustment is that the eccentric bushing, as you can see from how it looks, they're off-centered. And why we do that is, as you can see, as I turn the back side of this bearing, you can see how the bearing moves from the low side to the high side. And why we do that is that these bearings ride on surfaces. And we always are trying to get as much connectivity to the bearing to the rolling surface. So in the old days, they used to do a thing called shimming. And they would actually take shims, be it metal, usually metal shims, and they would shim their rolling surface. And this was a tedious process to try to get full connectivity of the bearing. Well, then one smart engineer said, hey, let's put an eccentric bushing on the shaft, and then we can actually turn it in the hole and get full connectivity. Now, the cool thing about this is that, say I've been running this now for a couple years and I'm losing a little bit of that connectivity, you can always turn the bearing some more to see if you can improve that. Or we also make special eccentric bushings as well too, if you're looking for even more of a movement, I guess you'd call it a movement. Like this here, this one here, look at the severeness of that. So that's when you're really trying to get, full connectivity. Generally, the eccentric bushing is its own part, and we sleeve it onto the stud. Now we also do something where we actually make the eccentric bushing exactly part of the stud. We generally just do this in the smaller sizes. We do it on the flange series. We can do it on the plain series. We can do it on a U series. We can do it on a V groove series. You name it, we can do it. Now, we also have what we call our eccentric shaft. And you can see, you can look there, right there, you can see that once again, we have made the shaft with the eccentric bushing right on the stud. It's part of it, it's not sleeved on. And this just, some manufacturers make them all where it's part of the stud. Some do what we do, where we have some that are part of the stud and some are not part of the stud. And why we sort of like the availability or the easeability, I would say, of being able to take this off if you ever had to. So say it's done its time. I can and say the cam follower is still in good shape. Okay, the eccentric has worn out a little bit. Okay, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, I can send you some eccentric bushings, or send the cam followers back to me and I'll sleeve the bushings on there for you. So, once again, another excellent product improvement that we do. Highly recommend eccentric bushings, especially if you're building a material handling system and you're trying to always get to make sure, as we talked about previously, make sure you're getting this full contact to the rolling surface. So thank you for tuning in. Join us next time for more Smith Bearing information.